Why is it not showing up? Huh? I don't know. I have no idea. Well, huh. Is this not sending out? What's going on here, people? Why am I not seeing anything? Let's start over. Let's start over. Oh. There we go. Finally. Jeez Louise. Wouldn't let me join my own live stream. What's up with that, people? What's up with that? Only took me a minute and a half to connect because it wouldn't let me connect. Anyways, got a couple packages. Thought I would just do a quick unboxing of them. If you've been on my channel recently, you probably know pretty much what these are, but if not, dun, dun, dun. We're gonna slide this one over just a little bit. We're gonna look at this one, I guess. Let's see what this one is. Dun, 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 dun. Voila! A distant plane insurgency in Afghanistan. Third printing GMT. This is, of course, Coin Series Volume 3, A Distant Plane. Third printing. Woohoo! Alrighty, welcome to the Sandbox, Afghanistan, scene of tribal, ethnic, colonial, and Cold War conflict across the ages. Into the cockpit dropped a multinational post 9/11 coalition to root out Al-Qaeda and replace the hardline Islamic Taliban regiment that harbored it. A quick invasion and regiment change portended quiet reconstruction and good governance, but it was not to be so. In the Pakistani sanctuary, the Taliban rebuilt for an insurgency that would ensnare the coalition in a triangle of Afghan rivalries, shifting alliances, and warlordism that the West had only distantly grasped. Should we open the box? Should we open the box? I think we're gonna open it up and take a look. Let's open it up. We got another box here, but I want to check this out. Whew. So as you know, we've been playing Alien Abyss. I really like the coin system and stuff, so I decided to get a couple of the other games because this is like the first edition, and there's some issues with the charts and stuff. So I ordered from GMT the second edition upgrade kit, which has got new charts and it's got new cards and a bunch of other things. So I ordered the second edition upgrade kit. It's not going to be here for probably a week or two. Who knows? GMT's not very quick about shipping anything out. Good Lord. So it was not going to be here for a couple weeks, so I thought maybe I'll put this one aside until I get the second edition upgrade kit with the new charts and everything. So I thought, well, in the meantime, I gotta have something else to play, so it might be A Distant Plane. Let's take a look. So we have the third printing of The Distant Plane Insurgency in Afghanistan, 22 pages. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, we'll have to look that over. We have the playbook. there. Of course, we got our charts here. Coalition, government, warlords, and the Taliban. They're the 4 factions. And we got a couple copies of those. Looks like 4 copies of that. Then we have the non-player warlords. Oh, this looks better. These charts look better already than the... if you look at the charts that came with like the Alien Abyss, it's just kind of generic-ish. It doesn't give you really much information on them. These look so much better. The text is smaller, so they fit a lot more information. There's a lot more arrows pointing this way or that way, so that looks good. And of course, you have all 4 factions, so you can play as any of them. That's another problem with the Alien Abyss, the first edition, anyways, is that they only released it with the 3, the Cartel, the AUC, and the FARC as playable or non-player characters. So they didn't have the government as a non-player character, which means you kind of have to play the government. And so the second edition upgrade kit does come with the charts for the government as a non-player faction. So that's another reason why I wanted to get it. So this one you can play as any of the 4 factions, so that's good. Looks a little bit more in depth. Yeah, a lot more different choices here. Do this, yes. If not, go to this one. If not, yeah. So that looks good. So maybe they learned some stuff from the first edition. Hithwell, what's going on? We have, of course, the sequence of play, the card list, the space list, the provinces, line of communications. Okay. Is there... Looks like there's a couple of those. Alright, what else do we have? Special event instructions, which is nice. The last time they had it on the AI cards. Right, they put them on the AI cards down at the bottom. Like down here. So that didn't leave you much room for the flow charts. You know, so you can see a third of the page. So like I said, I'm getting the second edition upgrade kit. It should be here in a week or two. GMT, not the greatest shippers in the world, I'll tell you. So I wanted something to play in the meantime. So of course we have the special event instructions for all the different cards. We have the random space map generator, which shows you how things flow, which is nice. Cool. Alright, we have our... Oh, and another good thing. Look at this. I've been dreading this all day, that I'd have to cut out counters and everything, but it looks like some of them already come pre-rounded. These are not. But these look like they're already pre-rounded and punched. You can punch out the bigger ones, which is nice. That's good. I like to see that. I don't know why the rest of them aren't like that. Alright, what else do we have? We have the map, which our good friend told us that this is actually, instead of one of these super tall ones, it's actually what is it, landscape. It's landscape as opposed to... So let's see, let's take a look. I'm going to slide the microphone back a little bit. And of course I have this upside down. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I just don't have enough room because I have the other package out here. So, all right. So this one would go under here. There we go. All right. So yes, it is landscape, which is nice. So you can play it so a little bit easier. I'm going to move this other package on the floor. We'll get to it here in a second. So there you go. So that's about your space requirements. Not too much. There you go. Of course, you got all these maps and charts under here. That's not going to help. Of course, is stupid towel, because otherwise everything is all glary. All right, so let's see. So you got your different areas here. A few line of communications here, just like Adian Abyss. Government is blue. The Taliban looks like black. Let's see, what color are they? Let's see what color the cubes. Oh yeah, there could be black because there's interesting. Some bags, some dice, black, white, and green, and some cards. Of course, we're gonna need those. So should be able to punch these out. Get these equipped pretty quickly. I'm hoping to get a game in tonight, actually. So hopefully we'll be back on later tonight for that. So can't be too different than the other one, can it? So these actually have like the Islamic symbol there, the Taliban. And then you got the warlords, you got the coalition, which is probably these grayish brown color. You got the warlords, which is green, the government, which is blue, and then black is the bad guys. Some cards here. Let's see how they did with the cards. And then we're going to compare it to the other package we're going to open up here in a second. I kind of like the little desert background color. That's kind of nice. Alright, these cards don't have the markings on them and such like the newer versions to let you know if the AI would play the event or not. Which is okay. I'm sure there's a flowchart for that somewhere, but there's your. Ooh, how many propaganda cards is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this time. Really? Wow, that's a lot more. Normally it's 4, so I don't know if they've added that. So obviously there's going to be some changes to the system. Can't be that different though. There's only this little markers here. You got your terror markers, your support markers, your opposed markers. So there's not a +1, +2 thing anymore. You have some special markers for events, car bombings, road IEDs, predators, VSO, ISRs, fixed finders, urban ID cards. You have the tribal elders cards, who they're voting for maybe, because there's tribal elders in all 4 of the factions. There's a +1 here. Government spending limit, a Taliban spending limit, and a prop card aid patron, and then coin series logo, a spare. There's not one for the there's one for Taliban and the coin series logo. I don't know if that's for something. There's no normally okay. So that's interesting. Yeah, into the rabbit hole we go, boys. In the rabbit hole we go. Thanks to Tony. Bastard, I sent him an email earlier. It's only one town, Kabul. But that's okay. As I was talking about, Tony had an extra copy of Adian Abyss. And he knew I wanted to get a game or two in. And so he sold me his copy. Here's a turn marker. Oh, this is for... It was under my thing over there. I'll have to put it in the game. So he sold me his copy. The only problem is it's only the first edition or first printing or whatever you want to call it. and it doesn't have all the updated information and stuff. So I ordered the updated cards and the updated charts. There's a second edition upgrade kit at GMT, and I just ordered that today. And so I was gonna play another game of this, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just wait to get to the new flowcharts, because as we saw, these flowcharts, these old flowcharts are they're not very good. They just don't give you enough information what you should be doing or not be doing. So I'm hoping they fix that. Plus, you know, as I mentioned, you have to play as the government because there is no government AI flowchart, but that's updated. So it's been updated. So I want to I don't want to start again with this and still be kind of unsure of the rules and what to do because the flowcharts are so bad. So I thought, well, maybe I should order a few more. So we do have another package. We got a 2-for-1 special here, right? So yeah, this map looks super good. Super good. I like the coloring of it. It's all dark and deserty, which it should be, but nothing like stands out. You know, and I'm really glad they chose the colors they chose, because if you would have chose like yellow and blue and red and green like they did in the Alien Abyss, those would just stand out too much. And I like how everything kind of blends together. This is really nice. I really like this. Really nice. Same sequence of playing charts. Taliban wins if they have bases greater than 20. Total opposition. Oh, their total opposition plus the number of bases is greater than 20. The Taliban wins. So it's nice that they have the actual winning conditions right here now too, which is good. So the government wins. Control population plus patronage is greater than 35. The government wins. So you can see here a couple zeros, a 1, a 2. 1 1 1 1 0 1 2 1 0 1 2 0 2. So there's a few twos besides the city to fight over. Quite a few actually. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But a lot of them are up here, which means I think a lot of the action is going to take up place up here. Perfect mix of using colors for color coding and aesthetics is Thorough 4. Yes, I agree. I think it looks really nicely. Really nice. I'm happy now. So, yeah, I think this one might be on the table later, especially since there's hardly anything to clip. There's just a few counters here that you'll have to clip. The rest of them are rounded, pre-rounded. Oops. Pre-rounded thick counters, which is nice, so you're not going to have to clip it all out. Only the little ones you have to clip out, which is alright, I guess. So 20 minutes of clipping, you should be able to get all that done. That's good. Let's see what's in the other box. I like the landscape as well, because I mean a lot of people are probably going to play this solo, right? So being landscape as opposed to super tall. But I do like the map, I will say that. Very, very happy. And yeah, so that's dice quality sucks. I don't know what GMT's doing over there, but they really need to get with their program. Oops. Let's just put these in there for now. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's right. I was gonna put them in I'm just gonna sleeve them, but I'll wait. I'll wait to sleeve them until after. All right. Let's see what else we got here. That is a Distant Plane live unboxing. Ooh yeah, we're gonna get this one out tonight. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Who knows what's in the box? Tell me if you know what's in the box before I open it up. Got my new laptop, so spending tonight setting it up. Oh, nice. Shouldn't take you too long to get it set up. New laptop? Excellent. Who knows what's in the box? Huh? Huh. Yeah. It's about the same size as one of that box, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. Gosh. All right, so this is volume 5678. Coin series, Pendragon, The Fall of Rome and Britain by GMT. Let's open up, and even though like literally the thing is falling apart. I got another one coming, but that one's not going to be here until later this week. So I'm going to have to decide between these guys which one I'm gonna get out. And this one I think is Fire in the Lake, says Tony. No. That one's not here until later this week. Ooh, what the hell is this? Looks like maybe some replacement cards, or maybe in a slight expansion. We'll have to look. All right, so we got the rules of play. This one seems a little thicker. It's only 42 pages. All right, it's about the same. Key terms. This one seems a little bit more to it, though, because there's a lot of differences. So I don't think this one's going to be able to just sit on the table and play, because there's all these castles and units being able to move into the castles and out of the castles. And so anyways, here is a playbook. Wow, this is mammoth, 72 pages. Well, it talks about the cards and the events, which I love. I love these things because, you know, just when I was doing the Alien Abyss, we would talk about the event because it's like, you know, you read the text and you go, well, what the hell is this good for? But then you read, you know, the story behind the event and you go, oh, okay, so it's, so really, all right, what do we got here? This is going to be a tall board. Damn it. Ugh. Alright, what else do we have? Epoch round. So that must be like the scoring round. Okay. Then you have the non-player guide summary. And the non-player battle tactics. Can Raiders assault remove stronghold information? Okay. Pendragon is a much longer game. That's okay. That's fine. So you have the Civitates. You have the Saxons. You have the Scate. And then you have the Orcs. Or I don't even know is that an O or is that a D? What is that? Civitates, the Saxons, the Scate, and the Ox. Train, march, intercept, battle, build, invite, requisition, and retaliate. Okay, so there's a bunch of those. All right. Non-player event instructions. Aha. Oh, and it's a whole freaking... See how more sophisticated they got? That's why I want to get the second edition. I'm hoping that a lot of this issue with the first edition of Alien Abyss is fixed with things like this. So if we have number 30, right? you know, and the Ox are playing it. Play only if 3+ cavalry are off map, and the Ducks, it is a D. If the Ducks not above victory threshold. So, you know, gives you some more information about how to play the AI, which is great. Okay. More is better. Non-players, and it looks like all 4. Okay, so there you go. So you can play all 4, which is good. Again, mostly punch in, punch out of the bigger counters. A few counters down here at the bottom, and then a bunch of wasted, just white ones. That's weird. They would do that. And then these 2 are kind of wasted as well. They could have put something on there. Yeah, the Dukes. D-U-X. How do you say the Dukes? Dukes, Ducks, Ducks. Is it a Ducks or is it a Dukes? I'm not sure. All right. We have a... Wow, there are a lot of cubes in this one. Maybe that's why this game is a little bit more expensive than the other one. You got your... Oh, and then these dice. These funky dice. They're 6-sided dice, but they're not 1d6s. They're like 1d3s or 1d4s or something. I forget, but... And they're Roman numeral, too. Oh, and they're... Right, oh, that's right. They're 8-siders. But their 8-siders only go 1 to 4. And the 6-siders are 6-siders, I think, is what the thing was. Yeah, so you got to know your little symbols. Yeah, V1 is a 6 and a 1V is a 4. I don't know how many times I'll goof that up. But that's interesting. Okay, cool. Then we got some... We have some cards, which also goes with these cards. Interesting Pendragon logo on the cards. Okay, these are the ones that started using the symbols for the factions to let the AI, let you know if the AI player would use the event or not. So if red wasn't available, the blue guy was available. He's got a sword through it and a shield. This guy just has a shield. This guy's got a sword, and this guy's got a sword. So I'm sure that's going to tell you something, which is cool. These are more cards, but different. Interesting. Obviously different backs, but they look like they're doing the same thing. Now, let's see if these cards replace the cards that were originally put in the game, or if these are additional cards. Let's see. Let me check the chat. Maybe somebody knows. 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, and 83. So since they're all numbered 77 to 83, I bet you they're not replacements. I bet you they're additions. So let me check on the chat here. Somebody probably knows. Pendragon is a much longer game. Heathwell says it's Ducks. Ducks Britannica. Okay. Evening from the UK. Stephen, what's up, my friend? It's not Ducks, by the way, says Heathwell. It's probably Dukes. Dukes? So this goes from 1 to 38. So that's interesting. And then they have a different background when they started 39. So I'm assuming you're not going to shuffle these together, I don't think. Because otherwise you would know if it's what kind of card it is based on the backing. Oh, there's just 4. Oh, or like special. Okay. So they're like special cards for each faction. So you got a green one. You have a black one. You have a red one. And then you have a blue one. Blue and the black are kind of similar. I wish they could have put a little bit more effort into separating these colors, but yeah, this is our second one of the day. since you're just joining us, Heathwell, or not Heathwell, Steven, sorry. We just opened this one as well, as I was talking about. The issue I have with this is it's first edition, and the flowcharts and stuff, although decent, don't do a good enough job. So I ordered from GMT the new second edition upgrade kit for this from their website, and so I'm like, yeah. So these probably go after, let's see, that's 1 to 39, and then this is 1 to 38, and then this is 39 to 72. Really, this goes up to 72. You have 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Okay, so interesting. There we go. 1 to... So yeah. Steven says he doesn't own this one. And use Pendragon as campaign driver, and Saga and Dux Britannium for the tactical battles if they happen. Full cycle wargaming fun. Yeah, looks good. Let's take a look at the map, which we haven't actually. We got some bags. We got some things. We got some cubes. We got some pieces. So we were having fun with the Alien Abyss. It's just I actually have it over on my table behind me, still set up, because we were doing pretty good with the second one, but it's like it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts with these flowcharts, and I'm just hoping the second edition fixes that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping anyways, because I spent another $30 on this game. Jesus. This one's going to have to go long ways because it's one of those tall ones. Ugh. Alright, let's take a look at this. So this is Britain, obviously. I'll have to set this down on my floor and put a couple books on it and try to level it out here. So you got this, Scotties are green. The Ducks look like the Dukes are red. Saxons are black. And then the Civitates are blue. Each of them have these little castles here. Out of play, casualties. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of this map. I think it's kind of a wasted opportunity, to be honest. You have these really nice casualty and out of play boxes over here with like these ancient drawings or paintings or whatever, and the same thing over here in this section, right? And then the map just looks like it's generic. Like, I don't know, it's just something about it that just doesn't like fill my boat, so to speak. It just doesn't seem like it just looks kind of plain, especially when you look at the Distant Plain was plain, but it had such good coloring to it. It made it stand out. This is kind of just like, So these are like a lighter green, and this is like a bluer green. So I don't know if this is like a swamp, maybe. It's probably some terrain. It just seems like, you know, they could have done it like it was a scroll or something, like an ancient scroll. This is supposed to be ancients, right? So they could have made it look like an ancient scroll with cracks in it and everything, and you know, like you've just unrolled a big scroll on your map or something cool like that. This just looks like it's, I don't know, just kind of generic. What do you guys think? Britain is described as a green and pleasant land, and the map hardly invokes this, says Jillian. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I mean, yeah, I just don't know. I mean, you got a nice little thing over here, which is cool. I like this, right? You have like this little portrait thing, and then you got like this little dragon thing, and even the text, which like all capital letters for all the lettering, just, and the font they use makes it really hard to figure out. I mean, maybe it's like it's supposed to be like a Celtic text or whatever, but then this doesn't have that text. So you got different text on the actual map. So you have multiple different texts. Yeah, this is a different text, this street. I can read the street name better than I can read the location name. Anybody tell me what the name of this town is? Catavelium? Catavelium. But I have to like look at that. I'm not a big fan of this map, to be honest. I just think the text, no. I mean, you got some really long ones, right? And I don't know, these are very similar. You got this name and you got this name, which is this is Coriel Tavi. This is Catavelium. But they're, you know, if you're not really thinking about it and you look at a card, oh, I can put 3 units here. But maybe they meant over here. So it looks okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Is it functional? Probably, but it's just, I think it's a wasted, like I said, if it had like an outline of a scroll, like you just roll out a scroll on your table, that would look super good. And I don't like the font as much. And see, this one's different. Look at this one. This has got a huge P, A-R-I-S-I. You see this P? Right out. You know what? I'm going to bring you, screw it. Let's just take you guys right down off the thing so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, here you go. It's me. Where are we? Here we are. Look at that one. What is that? Is that a capital P there? Is that P bigger than the other letters? Is that B bigger? No. Is that C bigger? No. Is that letter bigger? Is this one bigger? Is this one bigger? Is this one bigger? I don't see any of them except for this one that's like super huge. And then you have a lowercase to start off a word. Who proofread this? Now maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But seriously. And look at the textures on this. Can you tell me, is that green or is this green? Iceni. It looks better up close. You think? Like, again, this font they use, we're supposed to know that that is actually not an O, it's a D. Because it's the same as in their ducks over here. So that's supposed to be a D and that's supposed to be an O. And there's another D over here. Another D. Jesus. Another D. Another D. It's like every other one is a D. Oh, that's going to be confusing as hell. Great. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, you got these. Look at this casualty box. Now that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Let me see if I can get the glare off of it. The casualty box looks pretty good. The out of play box looks pretty good. The little portrait here looks pretty good. But then, yeah, this just looks kind of generic to me. Kind of plain Jane. That's just my opinion, though. The lettering is Celtic style. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured they were going for. But then you have like regular text here for the different oceans. You have just normal text here and here and here and here. The ledger, see, this is what I expected the whole map to look like. That would be cool. Now, don't tell me that wouldn't look cool. Something like that going around the edge of the whole board, right? Going around the whole edge of the board or something. Something like that. This one looks pretty good down here. What's this? This is the not yet in play box. And, of course I'm nitpicking, but the Saxon black and the blue can be kind of... I mean, the cubes you can definitely tell the difference between black and the blue. Oops. Oh wait, that's not even the right one. Is it the right one? Wait, yeah, that is the right one. Okay, that is the right one. Okay, and then we have this Imperium track. Sequence of play. So you got your elbow factions. Event. Second faction command. May add feat. Okay, so looks about the same. You got the epoch, which is basically your scoring track thing there. This text looks better than the other text on the board. I wish they would have done all that text. Caledonia. Reminds me of a school. Yes. All right, class. Listen up now. Here we go. Are you ready? You got your pens and pencil paper ready to go. Here we go. Parisi. Right there. It's Parisi. They got the Scotty. I kind of like these little banners. That's nice. Nice little banners instead of just a square box. Looks like an actual banner, right? So there's some good things with the map board. It's just I'm not a big fan of, I guess, the areas and the mountains and the little terrain. I guess, what is that little? Are these little trees or what are those things? They're just like little specks. How do you know what that is supposed to be? Is that a tree? Not that I can remember back that far. Names are historic. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I mean... Alright, well, that is a look at... Where is it? There it is. A Distant Plain. Pendragon. Let's look at the cover. Let's look at the cover art now, and we're gonna give our impressions. This is art class here, boys and girls. So again, I like the font. I like how the P stands out. That's nice. The important text, such as game design and stuff, doesn't like take away from the actual photo or the actual painting, which is good. It's full size, which I like. Side of the box looks pretty darn good. And it kind of highlights what's going on in front. It also has this nice color, this kind of brownish, grayish color, whatever you want to call it, tan, I guess. Okay. Let's see what's on the other side. All right, I'm going to rate this. I'm going to rate this probably. It's a nice color. Oh, and there's your little banner there that matches the cards. The only thing I would have done was maybe move the Pendragon logo up a little bit more so you see that a little bit more. Because this is on your cards, so this should be important. People should recognize this. So I'm going to give it probably an 8 out of 10. What is your guys' opinion of the Pendragon box? If you give a 2 hoots, let me know. Then we're going to compare that one to a Distant Plane. Hithwell says 6 out of 10. Ooh, he's a little more brutal than I am even. And I thought I was a hard critic. All right, so this one for me is about the most boring photo you could possibly get. The most boring photo that you could possibly get. So that's 1 strike. That's a point off right there. Second point is your main figure here, right? Your main figure in your box. Where's my? Hang on a second. I gotta pull my thing over to the other screen here so I could actually see it when I'm doing this. Your main figure here is out of focus. It's blurry. I don't know if you guys can tell that on the actual thing. It is, in fact, the whole picture. If there's anything that might be in focus, it is this section about 40 to 50 feet into the actual photograph. I'm assuming this is like a live photograph, right? But your main focus here, this guy's out of focus, this guy's out of focus. You do have, looks like, some good detail and focus in maybe 40 or 50 feet into the photograph. You can tell this is not in focus. So it goes, and then it looks like it gets in focus here, and then these guys are also out of focus. So, like, literally, this one is about the box art on this one is about a 4, maybe a 3. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. Sorry, folks. Sorry if you are. I mean, I do like the plainness of it, but this is like, seriously, this is the best thing they can find for something in Afghanistan to represent your game? Seriously? Thorough4 says he also rates Pendragon as 6 out of 10. Really, guys? 6 out of 10? What's wrong with this one? Huh? It's a good photograph. Or, not photograph, painting. The Pendragon logo with the nice colorization. That's pretty nice. The extra text on it doesn't distract from it. You know, like I said, having that banner stick out a little bit more would have been nice. Yeah, I think this is a nice. I think it's a 7 or 8 out of 10. But this is horrible. I don't care if you're a Distant Plane and you're supposed to make it look like magical or whatever you're trying to do there. That's just horrible. That's just not good. It's out of focus. You don't recognize that until you actually look at the actual picture. If you're just sitting back at home and you're looking at it, you don't even know it's out of focus. But when you come up close, you can actually see. Actually, everything is out of focus. And don't tell me because the name of it is a distant plane that that is the purpose of that being out of focus. You also have this guy covering up this guy here, so it's not even a good photograph to begin with. Yeah. And then your name of your game is a distant plane, but then you got these huge mountains in the background. So you give the distant plane box a 7.5 for the map, and stuff gets 8.5, average out of 8. Well, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna probably put this one away and read the rules on this one eventually, but this one we might get this one out today quickly. As I said, I got the other Alien Abyss still set up. Are we going to continue that one with the old flowcharts and stuff, or because I've ordered the second edition upgrade kit, do we just put that one on hold, wait for the second edition upgrade kit, and then try it again, and then jump in on this one? So I think what my plan is, although we do have a Fire in the Lake coming later this week, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys coming out. So it's really nice of you guys coming out, just checking out these little live unboxings. I do appreciate it. It's always nice just to hear other people's impressions and thoughts and hear what you guys have to say, which is always nice. So yeah, thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really like this coin system. It has a good blend for me personally of solo variety, with lots of different factions doing lots of different things, because they're just not copy and paste. They all tried to do something differently, and there's usually a lot of other mechanics working in these games. So for me, it's a nice blend for a solo player. You're not just taking the same player's turn after turn after turn, and then there's some strategy going on with when you activate, when you don't activate, should you wait for the next card? Where do you put your stuff when you can bring stuff on? Who do you attack? Stuff like that. I think it's a good blend of not heavy hex encounter stacking of units on a map, which can get tedious when you're playing solo. This seems to be a lot more enjoyable for me as a solo player. I'll probably go and do like an actual video expose on my feelings about the coin system, but I'm really glad Tony had that extra game of Alien Abyss. He ended up emailing me, telling me he had an extra copy if I was looking, because I'd posted on our Wargaming group that I was looking at maybe trying a game of coin and seeing it. And, I got online and I was watching some people's videos and I'm like, that seems pretty good. I don't know if I'd like it. But when I started playing it, I'm like, I literally played the first campaign yesterday. And it was like 2 hours long. And I was mad and frustrated because of the charts being the first edition and all. And they're just not having enough detail and information. What am I supposed to be doing with these things? Where should I do, which action are these factions going to take? Having to go through the rules and checking on these things. And some of it was just stuff that I missed. So that's on me. So I admit that. But there's other things that the flowcharts, just didn't make sense. Which I went over, so I packed it all up and I was mad. And I was like, all right, I'll forget this game. I'll order a couple of these others. So I ordered the Distant Plane and Pendragon. And then literally like an hour later, I calmed down and I was like, I got it all back out and I set it all back up and we started again. So we had another live stream last night because it was like so much fun, even though I was frustrated. And then once I got past that frustration part, like I said, being a solo, okay, I'm not going to be getting together with people anytime in the near future, maybe eventually, but with COVID and everything else. But as a solo, one of the things I don't like about solo wargaming is with the hex encounters, it can get very repetitive because all you're doing with the hex encounters is You're looking at your stacking units and you're moving them from one space to another space or a couple spaces or whatever the situation is. And you're doing that for both sides, back and forth. And it can be very repetitive, and it's basically the same thing. It's the same counters with different numbers on them for some reason. So it can be a little bit overwhelming or whatever as a solo player. It just kind of, some people love that stuff. But with my OCD, I get bored really quick. I mean, I get bored. I'm probably already bored talking to you guys. That's how OCD I am. So anyways, so I thought, oh, this is cool because it is, for me, just broad overview. And I haven't played all the games in the system and series and stuff. But for me, solo, every faction is trying to do their own thing with different ways of doing it. And how, one faction is going to be more aggressive and they're going to try to bring cubes out and then take over other areas. And then, specifically if we talk about Alien Abyss, right? So you got the government, they're bringing their units out and then they're going to try to get rid of the FARC and kill off the FARC units. And the FARC's doing the same thing, but then you got the ACU, which is trying to help the government and going in and kind of messing with the FARC, but sometimes it can do things, sometimes it can't. The government sometimes doesn't want the ACU to get too big and powerful, but they want them to help them. And then of course you have the cartel, which is sitting back and hoping all these other units destroy them. So when you're taking turns, it's not like the same turn over and over and over again. It's different every single time. The cards really add a nice variety because all of a sudden, it's like the way I explained it the other day is the cards kind of break the rules on each of the events, because normally you don't get to put out 3 bases and remove 2 guerrillas from your opponent, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I get to do this. So it breaks the rules. In a normal hex encounter war game where you're moving counters and on your map, you don't get to do things like that. You don't get to break the rules. You don't get to change the rules in the middle of the game. You go, oh yeah, well these guys here are going to attack at double strength because that's what the card told me to do. That's why I like card-driven games. And if you watched our live stream, I'm going to set this down because I'm sick of holding it. My arm's getting tired. When we did our live stream on Saturday, if you missed it, well, first of all, where the hell were you? Second of all, when we went through the war game group and looked at all of the top war games, except for ASL, which was up in the top wargaming, every other one in the top 15 or top 20 were all card-driven games. That should tell you guys something. I should tell you something about wargaming, what people enjoy. So, everyone's different. I'm not saying if you do hex encounter wargaming, there's anything wrong with it. I still do hex encounter wargaming, and I love it, and there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, as a solo player, this brings a lot of variety into the game. It keeps things fresh every turn because you're never sure what the event, what's going to come up on the next card. You have 2 cards, but you can't plan any farther ahead. But then when one card's gone, you bring another card in and you flip up a new card. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. And then all the cards usually break the events or break the rules of the game or let you do things that you normally can't do. So you get, every turn is fresh and new, basically is what I'm saying. So for me, that's really, really interesting. And it keeps the game going and playing. And it's like, we were doing the live stream yesterday. It's like, you flip up a card and then it's like, okay, we'll play one more card. And then you play that card and it's like, oh no, I'll do another card. And then you do another card and it's like, okay guys, this will be the last card. And then you play another card and you go, okay, one more. It's one of those kind of games where you don't want to stop. It's like, I want to play another turn. I want to play another turn. I want to play another turn. And that, for me, is something that's really good. So, anyways, it's fun to watch this Thorough4. He's going to go start his Alien Abyss solo play. Steven's going to try. Now, I would have loved to ask Steven if he has the first edition or the second edition. If somebody can type that in the chat if you're still there, ask him if he's got the second edition or the first edition. Send him a message or something so I know. Because I'd love to see the second edition charts and rules and stuff. And see and hope. I mean, there's like 9 cards that were reprinted, and it's got the government flow chart now, so you can actually have the government as an AI, so you don't have to play the government, which is nice because maybe you want to try something else. And then it has new updated flow charts and stuff, and it better be good because it was like 30 freaking bucks. Or no, I'm sorry, it was 20 bucks, but it was like $15 or $13 for shipping, so it really was $33. So for a little expansion, $33 is like the cost of half of a new game. So like literally, I'm like, maybe I'd have been better off just buying the brand new second edition. You know, by the time I, bought it off of Tony and paid for shipping, and then bought the second edition upgrade kit and paid for the shipping, I could have bought a brand new second edition game. So, anyways, you got the first edition cards by the flow charts from the C3I. Oh, okay, so all right. Well, Steven, like I said, I just ordered the second edition upgrade kit. GMT, it'll probably be here, I would say, a week to 10 days, because they're not really good about shipping things to me for some reason. And even when my pre-orders, everybody else in the world gets their pre-orders before me. I don't know if I'm blackballed over there because they watch my videos and they watch that I don't like their map, even though I really like their distant plane map. All right. But yeah, when I get the second edition upgrade kit come in, I'll do a live stream of that opening, and then you can see what's in it and see if it's something you might be interested in upgrading. And then, of course, once we get it in, we're going to play it with the second edition upgrade so you can see any of the changes and stuff. So that should help. But the distant plane looks very, very similar-ish. Doesn't have too many new mechanics. Being the third game of the series, Alien Abyss was the first. I'm sure there's some differences. So I'll read through the rules. I'll punch out those other tokens, sleeve the cards, and then maybe later tonight, if we get a chance, we'll get another live stream of a distant plane open. So thank you all again for coming out. All my subscribers, thank you. And thanks for all your information. I want to thank Steven. He helped me out yesterday in the live stream greatly. Gave me, when I missed things, when I was talking through things, he was letting me know his thoughts and opinions. Because, like I said, sometimes these rules, these flow charts on the original first edition, I cannot give you any recommendation on the second edition. But the first edition flow charts, obviously being the first game in the series, is going to be probably a little rough. They're now, 10 or 11 games in the series now. So they've had time to refine it, figure out, what they want to do. They now actually have a card system that you can use for the AI, which is awesome. But I can already see a big difference between the AI flowcharts from this one to the distant plane. So I'm hoping that this one won't leave us with that frustration of not knowing, because there's not enough information on the chart what to do, Some of it's very easy, and then there's other things that is just like, well, how can I do this? It doesn't make any sense. And, you just don't understand. Anyways, I'm babbling. I'm going to get ready for dinner. So, anyways, enjoy your new game, Jester. Thanks for sharing. A snappy salute, says Heathwell. All right, guys. We'll see ya.